Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zamrul Zainal and thanks for watching my videos. And today video I will share with you on how basically to build a DST well, drill stem test well. And based on this diagram that is in the screen, and then I will try and show to you step by steps on more or less how to build the to match the PVT APR data, specifying all the well completions, and then we'll run the models. Okay, let's start. This is a default main screen of Prosper. As usual, to start building up a Prosper model, you have to start from option summary because other sections is not active yet until you click on this option summary. Okay, click on that. Okay, we will build an oil wells. So the fluid we will use is oil and water. Method, of course, black oil. I will not touch this. I will touch this. Yes, my well will flow through tubing, and this is a oil producer. It's a producer wells, and DST we don't really normally come with the artificial lift, so just leave it done. Company, field, the well names, the platform name, platform name. Just make it a habit to fill up all these informations. My signatures, comment, DST well, exercise. Okay, my calculation type is offshore, rough approximate, full system. Okay, so yes, that should be good by now. And then I will date stamp it. As you can see now, all other screens are visible. But again, you have to follow the sequence. After option summary, go to PVT data. Okay, this is a main screen of the PVT data. This is a must. You have to fill up this data before you can actually proceed to other functionality of PVT. Okay, let's fill up the GOR. Gravity is 35, gas gravity 0.78. Okay, for this case we don't have any water yet, but if you do, you can put the water salinity information here. Let's assume it's 30,000 at the moment. And where do I get this one? This solution GOR, this should come from this PVT report called PVT flash test or separator test. This is also should come from the PVT flash test or separator test. For gas gravity, normally you can refer it to differential liberation PVT test. And for water salinity, normally a separate water sample will be taken, and then the measurements on the salinity or the density of the water is done separately. And H2S, the impurities, H2S, CO2 and nitrogen. Again, this is depends on your compositional report and see how much is the impurities. Okay, once you add this information, then you have to do the matching first. Why we need to do the matching? This is because we want Prosper to tune the correlations. As you can see here, there are 7 correlations for bubble point, GOR, and formation volume factors. So we have to choose one of these later. And for oil viscosity, there are 6 correlation. Again, we will match it using the PVT flash data and pick which one is the best one among these. Okay, let's do the matching now. Okay, to enter the matching data, you have to go to this button, match data. Okay, let's enter the information that supplied earlier. Okay, where do you get this information? This information mostly coming from the flash test or separator test from one of the PVT experiment. And for viscosity, there is a separate table for viscosity measurement. Normally, it's run viscosity, oil viscosity determination is run at a fixed temperature, and the rest is coming from the flash test data. So once you enter the data, then you can do the matching. It's okay to have just one set of data. No need to put more. And it is very important not to use differential liberation data, because that is only for describing the fluid separation in the reservoir. For flash test or separator test, is fluid descriptions for separation for fluid separation happen from the wellbore all the way to surface, which is applies to Prosper. Okay, click the match button. Okay, here you can see that there are 7 values which represent 7 correlations. So at this moment, all the parameters are not been tuned. This is the original one. Bubble point, as you can see here. As you can see here, this the calculated values or the original parameters for this GOR being calculated by each of these correlations. Same goes to formation volume factor and viscosity. So in order to do this PVT validation, just click match all. Once we did that, and you can see now all the correlations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for viscosity, it's based on these 6 correlations. All of them will be forced to pass through or strike through the matching data. Same goes to other correlation. Each of the correlation have their own multiplier or parameters to tune the correlation in order to match with the measured data. All those data was remember, the data is the bubble point, GOR, oil formation volume factor, and oil viscosity. You click at the parameter button here, then you'll be able to see the summary of all the correlations. See, bubble point, RS or GOR, and B node. This is shared by this correlation. Okay, after we
click the match all button, and now it's the time for us to pick which PVT correlations that will be representing our fluid in this particular Prosper model. Okay, we will look at the parameter 1 first, for bubble point, solution GUR, and oil formation volume factors. We have to see parameter 1, which parameter 1 that is closest value to number 1, to value of 1. So in this case, I would say, yeah, maybe I will pick Glasso. I'm more focused on bubble point and solution GUR. Oil formation volume factors, yeah, that will be my secondary priorities. So yeah, I will pick number 1, Glasso. And then for viscosity, it should be Bill et al. Okay, so that's how I choose my correlations. I click OK, and then yeah, click done. So I can click done. So I will have to make sure that the final when I go back to the PVT main screen, the correlation that I want is actually being chosen here. Yeah, this is just a final check. Okay, after that, then I can click done. After I'm done with the PVT, now I'm moved to the next section, which is IPR. For simplicity, I will just pick PI entry, because PI entry is only valid for well that has this well test data. Otherwise, we have no idea how much is the productivity index. So in my case, I will put the reservoir pressure 3600, temperature 250, water cut 0, and I will just put an assumption first, 2. Yeah. So before I close this window, I will have to validate and calculate. Okay, click done, and I will now enter the equipment data, which is the well itself. My data is in meters, so I will change my unit by going at by clicking at the header there. Start with 00, and my tubing hanger is 25 meters. Since this is a vertical well, so I will just go straight to well TD. So for deviation survey data, I just put the whole what I call it, the whole range of data from 0 up to the maximum, which is 2050. Okay, after I enter this deviation survey data, then I will enter the downhole equipment data. So I will enter tubing, and then I have this SCSSV. I have another tubing. I have another valve there. So it will be a restrictions. Then I have a tubing until end of the tubing. Not end of tubing, until perforated sub. And I think I will put my IPR at the perforated sub depth. Okay, and I will put a level restriction here as a tester valve. This is a drill pipe. My chemistry depth is at 20 meter, and my tubing length will extend from 25 meters until SCSSB, which is at 100 meters. So
over there. Drill pipe ID is 6.02 inches. SCSSB restriction 2.45. Tubing, and then I resume with the tubing all the way until the tester valve, which is 19110. Again, the drill pipe ID is the same, and tester valve, the restriction ID is 2.41, and then tubing again up until perforated sub. So this will be my last equipment, because it will stop until the perforated sub. Okay, remember the last equipment listed under downhole equipment here, in this case the tubing will determine the depth of the IPR. Then geothermal, I put number 8, and this is 0. 80 degrees, and we have 2000 and 250. And I can choose to enter gauge depth 17.0. Okay, my Christmas tree is at 25. Sorry about that. So I'm more or less happy with the fleet, with the system. Now I want to run my models. So I have 50 PSIG, and for time being I will pick Prospectrum Expert number 5. Then I run calculate, very quick. So that is my rate. Okay, that's all for me for today, and thank you for watching, and hopefully you can apply the knowledge that you just learned into practice as soon as possible. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.